On RPM TV this week, we drive the red-hot BMW M2 to find out what all the hype is about. Then we tackle tar and sand in the all-new Renault Kadjar compact SUV. Another newcomer raising eyebrows is the all-new, much-improved Opel Astra. And we say goodbye to our quick and glamorous Audi S3 Cabrio long-termer.
Unsurprisingly, there is often a lot of excitement around the arrival of a new M car, and that's because they offer a more refined and thrilling delivery of BMW's already very good drivability. And so, the new M2 arrives with that excitement, and that's before we've even had the chance to drive it in a very special place. First shown at the Detroit Motor Show, it was an instant crowd puller, and now on its South African launch, we get to drive it at a private racetrack in Franschhoek. The M2 draws on BMW's extensive motorsport history and borrows a few bits from other current M cars, but even so, there is always the chance that it will be labelled. Just like the Porsche 718 Boxster is sometimes called the poor man's 911, there might be some people who consider the M2 a bit of a junior boy racer version, for those people who don't have the budget or the skill to handle an M3. And admittedly, there are some things on the spec sheet that suggest this is a bit of a toy. Specifically, the ability to attach a GoPro to the thing and combine the video with an onboard app that measures your lap time as well as your cornering and braking, and then allows you to share that on Facebook, all a bit PlayStation. That said, the M2 is a very serious looking machine. It has all the M bits, from the unique wheels to the quad exhaust tailpipes. The gills are here too, as is a general sense of aggression. There's no mistaking this car's intentions. It's muscular from every angle, and every detail adds to its presence. It may be the de facto junior member of the M family, but this thing has been thoroughly thought through. There are things, of course, that you can point to, like the styling and the carbon fiber clad interior, but there are a lot of things under the skin, bits and pieces that have been selected or developed specifically for their performance. Things like the lightweight front and rear axle borrowed from the M3, and the braking system in this car that is lighter and more efficient than normal brakes, and a specially developed oil supply system. Without getting into too much nerdy detailing, it basically allows an efficient supply of oil to all parts of the engine, no matter if you're cruising in traffic or hammering it around a racetrack. And even though they add to the M2's ability, all of those things are just footnotes. But the main story is what's up front. A freshly developed 6-cylinder 3-litre twin-scroll turbo with 270 kilowatts and up to 500 newton meters on overboost. It's a rear-wheel drive with a 0 to 100 time of just 4.3 seconds and a superb soundtrack. Our test car is fitted with the 7-speed MDCT dual-clutch gearbox, but the M2 is fitted as standard with a 6-speed manual, which should excite the purists. But the M-car purists might be disappointed about one particular aspect of this car, the lack of two very specific buttons. Every other M car has M modes selected by those two buttons, but this car doesn't have M buttons, and that means you can't program it quite as precisely as the others. BMW say that's because they're aiming this car at a new kind of customer, and all that programmable M mode nonsense will get a little bit too confusing. So they've kept it simple. That means the M2 makes do with a driving experience selector like you get in just about every other BMW. You can still set some parameters, but it's not nearly as detailed as more grown-up M cars, which may add to the argument that this is the poor man's M car. But really, you don't have to spend too much time with this car to realize it's not half-baked and it is properly put together. The steering responds superbly, it's sharp and accurate, and the whole setup just feels fantastic, and the grip is especially impressive. But at the same time, it's not cold and clinical, and if you want it to misbehave, it will misbehave. Depending on your skill level and available space, it's very easy to turn the M2 into a tail-happy hooligan. If you want to see just how out of shape it can get, check out our video on rpmtv.co.za. we interview DTM driver Bruno Spengler as he absolutely spanks it around the track. For those who aren't professional race drivers, the M2 packs more than enough talent to deliver an engaging drive. The M differential helps deliver the most effective amount of power out of any corner, and the whole setup just always seems eager to deliver as much enjoyment as possible. The BMW M2 might be on the bottom of the M car pile, but does that mean it's a junior performer or diet sports car? Is it the poor man's M car? Well, no, because 800,000 Rand is still a fair chunk of change. And even though it's compromised on the finer points of what it needs to be an M car, it still has the looks and the power and the handling to deliver as much performance enjoyment as any other M car. The M2 is powered by a 3-litre straight-six motor with 272 kilowatts and up to 500 Newton-meters of torque, but the figures only tell half the story. With the full efforts of M Division's engineers behind it, it delivers an engaging drive that makes it no less an M car than any other. If you are interested, don't wait too long. Numbers are limited and South Africa's first allocation is already sold out. The waiting list is getting longer by the minute.